Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the channel, Sprinkle Sprinkle. I decided I wanted to make a video and go live and talk on why I no longer do decoding videos on this channel. I do have a few things that I have been decoding on Patreon, and it's all typed out, and I go through the process on how I decode on my Patreon, but I no longer seem to be doing a lot of decoding on the YouTube channel, only because sometimes, more than often, it offends people, it divides people, because a lot of the information that is in the, you know, occult knowledge and hidden knowledge, sometimes it can be applied to different things and it can seem to divide people even more. But until you get to a certain level and see that a lot of things are one, you won't be able to fully understand how it all works. So that is one of the reasons why I stopped decoding on this channel, because a lot of people may take offense to other people's interpretations. And a lot of people don't realize that there's more ways to interpret things, and there are levels to interpretations. So it's just like when people try to decode books on, or in the Bible, or in any type of religious text, you're going to come out with so many different ways to interpret it. And all of them, most of the time, are going to make sense, are going to be able to flow, as I would call it. So a lot of times people do not like how other people decode or interpret so many things. And depending on your level of knowledge, and knowledge of symbolism, knowledge of numerology, occult, history, you're going to see different things depending on your amount of knowledge. And so a lot of times people don't have the background knowledge to fully understand the interpretation. You know what I mean? So that's why I stopped decoding, because a lot of people don't have that background, knowledge from reading books for years and years and years, just studying, knowing history or a version of history, or just taking the time to learn. A lot of people basically learn everything that they know on TikTok, YouTube, and the internet. So a lot of times people don't have that background knowledge, and it's too much to explain, because it takes years and years and years of studying something in order to decode it on so many levels. So that's kind of why I stopped doing the decoding videos, because a lot of times when I do my interpretations, a lot of the knowledge, that's why it's called hidden knowledge, a lot of the hidden stuff, or the occult knowledge, stems from things that may, be offensive to people, or could possibly, divide others in a way of feeling a certain way, because of the way that history has been laid out. A lot of people don't want to hear the interpretations of someone who has studied and know the symbolism, and know a lot of the things that people want to stay hidden. You know what I mean? So, but there are so many people putting all the information out. I've done it. It's all on my channel already. Most of the stuff that I've decoded, a lot of it can be interpreted in so many different ways. So, and so I don't like to divide people any further than they're already divided. So I don't do the decoding videos anymore, because people will literally get in their feelings about how something is interpreted, or what the interpretation or symbolism means. But everyone likes, manifesting. Everyone likes magic and oracle and tarot and, stuff like that. So I kind of want everybody to feel like they're included in things like that. But, if I ever go back to doing them, I won't be able to do them. Thank you, Sasha. On I won't be able to do them on the same level that I was able to do them before because um it's very divisive. Okay. So, but those videos are still up. I never took them down. So there you go. You said that's part of the fun of this channel. Yeah, I know. Um you were Okay. Well, it's okay. All the videos are still up. So if y'all want the old decoding videos, they're still up. And a lot of the stuff that I've studied and learned, I can decode even further now with the knowledge that I have. And a lot of it, is very psychological as well. And so sometimes a lot of the interpretations are not for everyone, not because they shouldn't know, but because if they did know, it may put, let's just say, goggles on you that will start to try to interpret a lot of things about others and about certain situations that may or may not be your business or what they want you to know, because everything is revealing. And so once you start to once you tap into a certain frequency on decoding, basically everything reveals itself. And sometimes you don't want to know everything. And you don't want to put those goggles on to see everything. You know what I mean? Sometimes you just want to, have a good day and not have to worry about decoding. So a lot of times it's almost as if you are able to turn it off. And I feel like if a lot of people knew the many levels to interpret things on psychologically, that some people may not be able to turn it off and it may bother them more than it should. You know, you were just watching and enjoying. Oh, you like my older videos? You said, well, it depends on your interpretation of everything. Whether you don't have to believe anything, that's the beauty of it, and this is what most people don't realize. You don't like someone's interpretation is not a belief. It is an interpretation. So a lot of people mistake interpretations, symbolisms, and this, and that as a belief system. And the occult and the occult knowledge is not a belief system. It is simply knowledge. So a lot of people misconstrue they're always looking for something to believe in. And if you seek knowledge, you're not looking for anything to believe in. You're just seeking knowledge. So people are seeking knowledge to find something to believe in, which is wrong. Because if you're seeking knowledge, you're not seeking something to believe in. You're seeking to learn. That's it. Not and to obtain knowledge, not to find something to believe in. And that's why I say if you're decoding stuff, if you're breaking things down with the etymology and the origin of the word and how the word sounds, there's so many different ways to interpret things. The color, da 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 da, whatever you find is not going to be a belief system. It's just going to be your interpretation of something. So, was I made to stop? No, I wasn't made to stop. I just feel like a lot of people were offended and upset with a lot of the things that I talk about on both my channels. And so I feel like, if a lot of people feel that what I teach is disturbing or shouldn't be taught or da 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 da, it's literally not my problem. It's more of their problem that they needed to work out for themselves. And hopefully they did that. But I stopped because there were too many people arguing in the comments. There was too many people, too many, I'm not even going to call them weirdos, but too many people that have different interpretations of things on different levels, you know, writing long, drawn out emails and messages. And it was just really, it became like Stranger Things, like really weird. Like people, the weirdos come out the woodwork when you start interpreting occult knowledge. Okay, I'm not talking about the good weirdos. I'm talking about the weird weirdos, the ones that may or may not need medication, but we don't know. All right. So I stopped because too many people were writing me weird stuff, and um, it's not that I didn't care, and it's not that I um, was interested in any of the weird stuff that they were writing me. It's just that if I don't know you, don't send me your life story, don't send me your belief system, don't send me any of that because I don't know you. So it was just, a bunch of stranger things. I'll put it that way. So why punish the rest who are here for the decoding video? I think I've taught enough on how to decode. All the videos are still up. If I were to break down and decode every single thing that comes up, honestly, people would still argue with me. People would, what I don't feel is a good thing anymore is arguing or debating. So a lot of people here are political. A lot of people believe everything they see on the news and TV. And if I were to constantly spoil that illusion for some people who have to live in that world, um, and can't do anything about it because they haven't taken the proper steps to, then it's just going to, create a little bit more animosity. You know what I mean? So what I'm saying is those people who are meant to wake up are going to wake up. And I have all my old videos. The formula is there to learn how to see and decode and everything. But there's so many people here that believe what is given to them versus doing their own research. You can't teach people and you can't help people that don't do their own research, because all the hard work that I would do on a video to, get my decoding across or what I feel something means could be in vain if you take CNN as your truth or you take the news as your truth. And a lot of people are still programmed to take those things as their proof. You know what I'm saying? Some people see beyond the veil. Some people see beyond the fake stuff or the fake news, as I would say. And some people can listen to certain words and know when a news story is fake because they do put certain words in fake news stories. And if you know, you know. And so many people don't know what to look for, what to see. It's in the names of the people, the names of the towns, the dates that things are happening on, the time of year things are happening on. If you don't know all of this because of, background studying years and years and years and watching the cycles, then you're going to be lost. And it's a lot to explain. And it's easier just to quickly say, well, fake news. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people don't believe that stuff is fake because they don't know how to decode and they don't know how to research on their own. They just choose to believe something or not. That's not how you find out what if something is fake or not. So that's kind of why I stopped decoding, because people are too lazy to do their own research. Hmm. You say, will just decode break my soul as your decoding exit? I'll do a brief interpretation of that, a very light interpretation of that. I feel like When you get on a certain level, that's why I say I never want to be famous. You get on a certain level, certain things or certain people want to navigate your um, mm, they want to navigate you and your influence over people. Okay, and when you can't when you don't let people use you to influence others, it becomes a problem. Okay, so when you're unable to do as much as you used to do in the way that you used to do it because you're not on board with what they want you to push, to a collective, then you start acting more independently and doing things your way versus another way that you don't agree with. So, that song to me, You Won't Break My Soul, means I'm going to do things my way. And I don't care if you, what do they call it? Blackball you. Um, if you don't give me, my due, if you don't give me the freedom that I once had to do what I, have been doing, um, then I'll find another way to do it. Okay. So it's basically I'll find a better way and another way to continue or to do what I want to do. And you're not going to break me. So that's why I feel like that. You said Beyonce sold a percentage of her music catalog, but who did she sell it to? See, a lot of times y'all got to ask the questions. Sometimes we have to ask more questions than talk. Sometimes if you write down on a piece of paper 20 questions, y'all know that game 20 questions? Then you'll see. Just keep asking questions about, certain things. And you'll find follow the money. You always have to follow the money. That's always where everything, you know, leads to anyway. Mhm. So if somebody sold something, you have to figure out who they sold it to. And if they really sold it to somebody else. Okay. You just have to be smart and you have to think like a person in that situation. You can't think like an outsider. Like when you're trying to figure something out, you need to think like the person who's actually doing whatever it is you're trying to figure out, not the opposite. So that's the best way to decode, to think like the person that you're trying to decode. Okay. And when you start thinking like that, then things unfold, then things make more sense. Now, it doesn't mean you're going to be 100% accurate, but you're going to be closer than you were just assuming. Hmm. You said she telling everybody you won't work. Well, you said what's up with the abortion? I don't talk about anything political because it's political. You know what I'm saying? Anything political is set up for politics. That means all them people gonna run out and go vote like they want to. Because every other couple of decades and years, they do the same thing. They've been doing this since forever. Overturning this. Then somebody get in the office and then the laws is gone. And then somebody do this and then someone do that. And then the laws are changed and people go out and run and vote. It's just to keep you interested in politics and voting because a lot of people aren't even participating in that anymore. So they want to keep you into politics and to vote and all this kind of stuff. Back in the old days, Get you some herbs. Then they got Plan B pill. You could fly out the country, drive out the country. I don't know. I'm sure if you can buy illegal drugs and there's human trafficking in the United States, I'm sure you can find a way to get done what you need to get done if you need to get it done. Okay? As much illegal stuff that goes on in this country. Mm-mm. That's why I really don't worry about stupid stuff like that, because it's all about who's going to get into office next, or what they going to say about abortion. Oh, that person's for this and that person's against this. Let me go run out and vote for them like an idiot. Okay. But when it comes to control over weapons and things like that, nobody cares. So if they don't care, I don't care. I'll find you can. If there's a will, there's a way. That's all I'm saying. Laws never stopped nobody before. Okay. All right. So you said, how can you differentiate in anything that's a law and has to be passed? Is politics. So election time is almost near. They got to get y'all riled up. That's all I know. Okay. There's more women in the world and more women that are able to vote than there are men. So how you get women to the polls? Women's issues. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Ain't nobody done anymore. I mean, this is why it's so sad, because it's frustrating when people are not connecting dots. And when you can't connect dots, you can't decode. if if anything has to do with politics, ignore it. It's fake. I'll repeat that. If anything has to do with changing laws, and you see a repeat cycle of things, and they never really do anything about it until close to election time, then ignore it. It's fake. Okay. hmm What's your opinion on inflation? We have to connect dots, like I'm saying. Like, a lot of this stuff is very much common sense. How many people still drive to work versus how many people sit at home in front of a computer and never get out in their car and drive or commute to work, take their clothes to the cleaners, get a coffee on the way, stop and get gas on the way. How many people are no longer spending extra money in the economy due to being able to work from home now, due to not having to drive anywhere, because a lot of people are working remote now. That money has to come from somewhere. So where are they going to get it from? Inflation. It's too easy to connect dots for people to be worried. So I think if we ask questions rather than, get upset, we'll follow the money. That's because what's everything is about in these days is money. If you follow the money, you'll get your answer. That's just that simple. If you stop thinking that people are for your best interest and care about you financially, you're halfway right. They're easing you into a new system. And if you don't wake up, you don't realize it, then you're going to suffer. That's it. I told y'all this 3 years ago, that more people were going to have to become independent business owners, find some type of work they're going to have to do at home, and figure out how to survive and make money without the aid or the help of all these large companies and things like that. Because as you noticed, a lot of them closed, you know, and a lot of stuff moving online or more independent. So if y'all can't realize and connect dots and know that nothing is going to ever be the same again, then you're not evolving. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like the adjustment for um, the economy and inflation and all this stuff is trying to teach you how to get your own money. Okay. People are not going to get it until it's forced. And a slow nudge is slowly forcing you to become more independent. Okay. You said working for other people is getting dangerous. True. Hmm. Um, you got rejected by two jobs you really need. They would have paid me. You feel sad. Yeah. You know what? As a the way that I think, I would have created my own job. Whatever you can do for someone else, you can do and get paid all the money, not just some of it. Okay? Honestly. So many people don't realize that they can get paid if they just don't have the confidence. And this is another thing. Like a lot of people are afraid and you're not taught to believe in yourself. You're not taught to challenge the norm. You're not taught to do any of these things. So, you just continue to apply for jobs, to fill out applications, to wait in line, to see if you get picked, to go through the brutal process of, all of your information being uh, checked, your background being checked to, okay you for, as you said, $24 an hour. But the funny part is, all the information you give out, all the time you spend looking for a job, you could have been making money doing something else and maybe something you loved, you know? You just have to have that belief in yourself. And in the meantime, work wherever you can get a job, save up, and do what you can do and make your own money so that you can replace that job with your own business. Okay. And a lot of people don't realize this, but a lot of people come from other countries, start their own business right off the bat. Probably not even legally, but they're getting paid and they're finding ways to get that money. Okay. So, I mean, I can't say like wherever especially if you practice magic or manifesting, you need to manifest money making ideas. You will see money everywhere. You will see so many ways to make money. You won't even be able to do them all. Okay. Stop being afraid. A lot of people's problem is fear. All right. So, decoding stuff a lot of times alleviates fear. And honestly, after you decode like current events and things like that, everything kind of becomes a joke. Like you don't take anything seriously anymore. So you worry less, there's less fear. You have more self confidence because you know things and you're not running around like a chicken with their head cut off, worried about stuff because you already know that it's fake and you're just simply, they're just simply going through the motions. And that you can see that people are being nudged into more independence and they're not taking it well. So, the truth is very harsh. If someone to just get on the news and be like, we're trying to push y'all towards self-sufficiency so y'all don't have to work for other people because, it's making y'all uncomfortable, sad, and empty shells to wake up every morning, sit in traffic, and go do someone else's work and get paid a fraction of the profit and start over all again and do the same thing until it's time for you to retire. That's not life. And a lot of people are using drugs, alcohol, and whatever addictions, and not spending time with their family because of a quote unquote job. When there is technology now, and we don't need as much or as many employees, because a lot of things technology has taken over. And before people just snatch every job away and use technology to handle mostly everything, they're trying to ease people into becoming more independent and finding ways to make money with such technology and all the available ways to make money online and crafting and doing things that only a human can do. And people aren't taking it very well. So, decode the slow push into independence. hmm When I think about Beyonce's red horse photo, it's a red horse. I mean, a red horse can be interpreted in so many different ways. Um, it just depends on what you're looking for and why you're trying to decode it. So, if you're going for the biblical, um, what does the red horse mean biblically? You know, if you're going, you said, is the middle class being eliminated? Honestly, I think the poor class is being eliminated. Um, you said destruction, judgment, something, right? Well, it can mean so many things. It is very Lilith energy. It is very divine feminine energy. It is very much, that creative root. It's that root chakra. It's very independent. It's very new foundation. You know what I'm saying? She said in her song she was looking for a new found. She got her own foundation. That's a red horse. Like if you think about the chakra system, and the root chakra is red, it's a foundation. So she got her new. She's starting her own way of doing things. So she has a new foundation. It doesn't mean war. It just means um, her survival in her root chakra now depends on her. Okay, she's doing everything on her own. Um, yeah. So, and a horse means something like a horse can mean two different things: a wild, free-spirited animal that runs through the fields on their own, unbridled. A wild energy, a wild root energy. And if she's riding a horse, she's taming. She's taming that. It sort of is a war, like the horse whisperer. You got to train a wild energy within you and use it as a root in order to create. So it's her new foundation. A rebellion against the old way and those who were trying to keep her in a certain way or do certain things a certain way. So she's breaking out of that and creating what she wants on her own. Okay. You said like the strength card. Yeah. So um, red is also a very empowering color. So a lot of people wear red ties, red lipstick. It's a very powerful color. And so she's not afraid. She's kind of showing that she's not afraid or intimidated, and it is what it is. Okay. And, there's nothing wrong with that. So I just say, you know what, let her be. Literally, let her be. And allow people to be who they are and not always like it's very hard. That's why I'm always constantly doing stuff different and I don't care what people think It's because when you get stuck in a certain way, or when people expect certain things from you because you've been a certain way so long, or you have a certain message that, you know, you're expected to give, and you're not supposed to say this or you're not supposed to say that, or, you know, they're trying to constantly tweak what you say or things like that, or your performances, or who you know, tribute your performances to. Oh, we don't want to upset a lot of people. You know, the same reason I had to stop decoding on this channel, because, oh, I don't want to upset a lot of people. But I left all those videos up, but at the same time, you get weirdos. Okay. You get weirdos making videos about you, saying that, you know, look at all the videos that people have made about Beyonce and her family and her kids and her husband. I mean, that in itself is because she can't or didn't say what she wanted to. If she, like, that's why on that song Formation, she said, "Y'all hate us corny with that Illuminati mess." And then she kind of took it back to, you know, her ancestral roots and all that kind of stuff. And it feels like because she embraced another form of spirituality in her own cultural roots, that she became a target for, you know, people saying that she was evil, or and the Illuminati and all that kind of stuff. Okay, excuse me. Where did the Illuminati get their information and ideas from, and their foundation from? So you can't really claim something that's already yours ancestrally. You can't turn it around and put it inside out. It already is. So yeah, release your job, release, yeah. She was telling people to quit their job and do your own thing. That's why she's telling everybody. You're trying to tell people, they're trying to nudge you into independence, because soon there may not be as many jobs as there are out there. And those who are competing are going to have to be the best of the best and work for the least of the least. Now, how would that make you feel? If you're very skilled at what you do for a living and you got to compete for a job, and if there's someone out there willing to take less money than you, they're going to get it. And so it's going to be silly competing for scraps. So that's why you must become independent, make your own foundation. We have all the tools we need. People are just not trying to do it. Okay. Be smart. All right. You are working on your own business right now and watching. Oh, good job, because that's what you're going to need. It's a legacy. Robots are taking most of the unskilled, robots are taking most of the unskilled labor. True. How to you hypnotize a wealthy woman on the first date? Pork rinds, you're on the wrong channel. Seems like she knows something by saying quit our jobs forever. I know, like people don't realize this, but I used to work, you know, a long time ago before I got married and stuff. What I made in 2 weeks, I can make in a couple of hours. Okay. And that wasn't always at first. It may take me a couple of days if I push myself, because the more you push yourself, like if you have a business, the more you advertise, the more you make sure your product is out there, the more you go and, you know, do what you got to do to make sure people want to buy your stuff. It's up to you, and you get all the profit, not a little piece. And when your business increases, so does your salary. You don't get like a 50-cent raise every year. You get a raise every time you sell more and more and more and more. So I am so glad that I did not just depend on working for other people, that I took that risk and that chance, to start my own business and stuff like that. Um, and even though I didn't have to work, like this is the funny thing about it. I didn't even need a job. I didn't even have to work. But if I can find a way to make and earn money and I don't even need to work, there is no excuse because it's out there. I already got it. So you said Kris Jenner works harder than the devil, and she sets things into motion with the y'all are silly. You said your manager has been there for 25 years. Let me tell y'all something. If I work somewhere for 25 years, I'm owning the building, the property, the company, the copyright, the trademark. If I'm somewhere for 25 years, okay? If not, I'm stupid. Something wrong with me. I'm done. Okay? I'm not going to be somewhere that long and my name not be on the deed. The same as a marriage. You in a marriage and your name ain't on the deed of that house, what you doing? Your name ain't on that insurance. What you doing? You see, it's common sense, but people are trained to work because back in the old days, they needed human people to work. Now they don't. But instead of throwing y'all out on the streets like they did in Corona and the government shutdown, they're easing you into your independence. Okay, there you go. But after 25 years, I'm owning everything. If I don't own everything, then I'm done. Shoot, something is wrong with me. Okay. Um. So when you start decoding stuff, know that not everything is good or bad. Everything is knowledge, and what you do with that knowledge is up to you. So if someone gave two people who thought totally different the same exact story, there's inflation going on. Gas prices are high. There's food shortages. Not, people can't find a job, and you know, da da da. Okay, become independent. I don't see a problem. I see a solution. Instead of complaining, I'm like, well, this. It seems like that you're trying to nudge you in the direction more of your independence. Because think about this. If they didn't want us to be independent, they wouldn't supply us with all the tools. Okay? We wouldn't. That's why we didn't have them a long time ago, because they needed our physical labor, our presence as a human. But now that they don't need that, and because of technology everywhere, guess what? They're trying to push you into your own independence. There's so many apps and tools that they have now to run a business online, to sell your stuff, to become social media person, to do a dance on TikTok and go viral and get your name on a line of t-shirts or something. I don't know, but there's too many ways to make money for people to be worried about certain things. So instead of focusing on something that you're not going to be able to stop, focus on what you're able to do to get what you need instead. Okay. How about jobs in the medical field? Honestly, if you're looking for jobs still after all that I said, you're not going to get it. Go watch the movie Aliens. Go watch Prometheus. Go watch Prometheus. That's all I'm gonna tell you. Go watch the movie Prometheus. It's pretty good. It's the prequel to Aliens. And it will tell you a lot. So honestly, I'm like, y'all can understand this or not. This is why I stopped decoding, because as many times as I've talked, people still ask me, what about a job? The faster you get out of working for other people, the more you will see. Mhm. Yeah, don't quit your job until you can replace it with your own business money. Might have to do two things at once. You might have to work and focus on, getting your business off the ground. Mhm. Your dad told you unless you have a corporation, you're lost. That's the direction America's going. Have your own business or be a slave. Exactly. Um, it's true. I think a lot of people get upset because of things have been a certain way for so long. But as new technology is introduced, the old way has to go. Think about this: in the old days, all those people who used to work in the coal mines and in certain factories to create stuff that we no longer even use today. People that used to like a lot of like think about you remember in the 80s and 70s how it was like such a great job to be a travel agent, and now you can go on Expedia.com and book your trip and be out. Do y'all remember? Okay. Y'all remember Blockbuster videos where you had to go to the store and rent a video and and stuff like that? Now you can click a button and watch it on your phone. Okay. So you'll have to realize that things are not going to stay the same. They're not going to need a video store worker anymore. They're not going to need someone to, you know, create and make certain things that we no longer use anymore. Like we don't need nobody to work at certain places anymore because they're going to be obsolete. So you just got to know that that's the direction that we're being pushed in very slowly. And a lot of reasons why they use violence and scare tactics in politics is um, to put fear in you and to also make you run out and vote for certain people. And if you're like into politics and stuff like that, instead of focusing on how you're gonna get your money. Okay. Even grocery stores are going online. Exactly. I've been ordering my groceries for years before it was even a thing. Okay. You said the Terminator showed us a long time ago machines will do the work. That's exactly correct. And people not realizing this, and mhm. You said every store is self-check now. I know. I went to the store the other day. I was looking for the cashiers, and the cashiers was looking around and saying, "There's self-checkout." There was like one lady standing there watching the shelf self-checkout. I'm like, "What? I'm ordering online because I ain't doing this for free." Mhm. So decoding things are just simply going to show you what's going on. It's going to lift the veil. That's all it's going to do. It's going to show you where things are moving to and whether you're prepared for them or not. It's going to show you if you try to decode stuff from the past, it's going to show you the same thing but way back then. It's going to show you that, if you try to decode stuff from the old days, it's going to show you stuff that you like that has come true. And so that's how you know that when you decode certain things and when certain information is released to the public, it's way after it's already been used, put in process, and already in motion. That's when most people find out about stuff, when it's already done or being done. So that's why a lot of people's conspiracy theories aren't proven until later. Until like if you go back and read conspiracy theories from the early 60s and 50s, you'll find out all of it was true. So that's what I'm saying. It's just a way to lift the veil in order to prepare for your future. So when you try to decode stuff, people put things in code because they like a lot of people don't come out and say it, but that's why on that song that y'all asked me to decode, the "You Won't Break My Soul," that's why Beyonce is screaming out all the answers to the questions that most people are now asking. Like, why would someone put out a song saying, "Release your job, release this, release that," in a time of inflation? Makes no sense, right? Because she's trying to push you to start your own business, your own foundation, and your own way to get paid, not just competing for jobs and working for scraps. Okay, you said right. The trendy fashion looks like prison clothes. Pay attention to high fashion brands. They show us where we're going. Uh-huh. And a lot of times, like the funny thing about designers, because I've been kind of researching a little bit about designers. A lot of things about designers, they're artists. They're not a factory that makes clothes. They're artists. Their art is their fashion. And their fashion reflects what's going on, like you said, correct. Um, and so a lot of people don't realize that like I like to use like Coco Chanel as an example or Gabrielle Chanel. When she started making her clothes for women, she was pushing women towards their independence and their doing their own thing. She was pushing them out of the corsets and out of the layers and pushing them more into more flowy, comfortable clothes that's easy to move around in. That's not designed by a man. So it's like, okay, well, why is that designer so popular? Because she took a jersey fabric that was mostly used in sports clothing for men and started making dresses and clothes out of it for women so that they could move around easier and do more and become more independent. Like if you're in a corset and you can't breathe and your boobs are up in your neck, you can't breathe in, your organs are being squished, you can't bend over, you got to have a fan because you're about to lose consciousness all the time. You can't bend over and do certain things. You can't take long, you can't really just the oxygen isn't flowing to your brain correctly. So you're not able to focus or think much very long. And a lot of women freed themselves from a lot of this, man-made corsetry and but it can also be empowering, don't get me wrong, as a way to lure them in, but at the same time, it's also a time and a place for it. And so she kind of freed women from their prison of clothing. And with that, more and more women followed, and their style and the fashion began to reflect, a lot of new talent and thinking and ways of doing things, being less constrained. Exactly. Um, so the You said on the Jetsons, he used to FaceTime George in 1962. I know, right? And then remember when they had the filters? When they had like a mask that they would put on if they were just waking up or whatever, and they had a mask that they would put on. That's a filter. Filter for FaceTime. Yeah, like people know the technology that's coming, and so they try to push you into, um, you know, it slowly without, making too big of a ripple. And there was a video that I think the Carters did. It's called, was it Family Feud or something like that? That takes you into the future. So maybe y'all should watch that video. Um, a lot of like after they did the Carter album, and then they did the Lion King for Disney, and they started to bring like their ancestral roots, give financial information to a group that is not financially well versed as far as historically. Um, that's when they kind of became a target or a threat, and that's why they had to kind of like back up and get their own stuff together so that they can do their own thing without literally being, harassed for wanting to, do what they wanted to do, basically. Say what they want to say. They was preparing us back then and now and was blinded. Yeah. So a lot of people and another thing, like they used, there was a big controversy over the title of her, Disney Black is King, and they're like, why is Black is King? Da, 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 and they released it on Disney Plus. And people get upset when you embrace something that makes others uncomfortable or feel like some sort of way. So I don't feel like that type of pressure or I won't even say like that type of pressure and uh, harassment is totally unnecessary and was uncalled for. And sometimes, instead of being, upset about it, you just flaunt it even more, I think. And that's why I feel like a lot of times people don't realize that doing you, being who you agree with you. Okay. But if you know more and you know something, whether they agree with you or not, you're still allowed to put your message out. So, mhm. And like I was watching that movie National Treasure last night on Disney Plus. Okay, Nicolas Cage. Um, and I'm going through this whole movie, and they're trying to find all these. They keep finding all these clues that leads to other clues. This is the same thing as what decoding is. Okay, they're finding all these clues to lead to the next clue to lead to the next clue, and they get frustrated because it just leads to another clue. Then they finally found the treasure. What is it? Hidden underneath a Trinity church. What is it? A bunch of old Egyptian gold. There's Osiris under there, a big old statue of Osiris. All this Egyptian scrolls from the Library of Alexandria. Like, what does ancient Egyptian scrolls, a statue of Osiris, and a bunch of Egyptian stuff translate into? Who are the national treasures? What is the national treasure? I'll let y'all interpret that. And he, okay. And there was one clue in the final part of the National Treasure movie said, Not one man can hold the entire treasure. Like one man cannot contain this treasure." So it means a plethora. The treasure. I'll let y'all figure that one out. Okay. Oh, I don't know. I'll let y'all put that in the comments. But I mean, if I'm looking for some national treasure and I come up and I'm searching for all these years, and then Benjamin Franklin was behind a lot of the clues being dropped and stuff like that. Y'all know what Benjamin Franklin said, or was it Thomas Jefferson and Benjamin Franklin? They were like a lot of clues and hints and a lot of their history and quotes and things like that. Anyway, but the national treasure was definitely from a whole different continent underneath the Trinity Church. And when they found it and discovered it and brought it up to share with everyone, sprinkle, sprinkle, um, that's what it was. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Okay, here's the quote. Thank you, Folly. No one man can have all that power. Okay, yeah, Kanye. Basically, that's what he said. Um, why do you think Roe versus Ray was overturned? I don't care. I don't care about politics. I don't care about those things. People are going to do what they want anyway. Like, I learned a long time ago, if you allow a system to interpret how you make decisions, then you always will. I don't care what, like, honestly, I don't care what is or what not, or what is not. The decisions I make are based on how I think and my morals and things like that. And the laws never stopped anyone from accomplishing anything. They were just there as a guideline, because I mean, to me, if you want it, you can go out of the country. You could drive to Mexico. You could fly somewhere else. You could go on vacation. I mean, people do it for plastic surgery and fake boobs. Why you can't do it to get something done? You got strippers on a plane to the Dominican right now trying to get a booty. What? I don't care. Okay. A plane ticket, you get a plane ticket, the abortion's going to cost a little bit more now. If you broke a bus ticket, I don't know. Okay, y'all gonna help the Mexican economy. Y'all gonna help the foreign economy. I don't know what to tell you. What you want me to say? I don't know. Okay. Y'all are silly. You a bus ticket or a plane ticket or a train ride away, okay? Or if you on vacation, a cruise away. I don't know. You said it's legal in California? Okay. See? Yeah, now why y'all crying? It's not like the whole country is messed up. Y'all just get to go on vacation at the same time. Think of the positive. All right. I had a tag on this dress still with the ticket off. There you go. See? um, I don't know that it makes you wonder why they waited until a year to want to trademark it. Oh, y'all talking about something else. Okay, so another thing is like, you said you've been saving money like crazy. Good for you. So another reason I stopped decoding is because it became a habit. And when you're in a habit of doing something, it kind of takes the fun out of things for other people. And so if you have a habit of decoding everything, it takes the fun out of things. Sometimes things just need to be mundane and enjoyed on a surface level. And so I kind of stopped doing that as much because like the more I decode, the more I see, the more I see, the more I have to decode. And it's just like on the movie National Treasure. It's like the more you know, the more you have to keep going and keep going and keep going. And then when you find out what the national treasure is, or what the whole message is, or what everything decodes down to, then you're like, okay, well, cool. I already knew that. Now that I know, I'm good. You know. So you said help the foreign economies, okay, or other states. I don't know. You have a problem to your north. What? I don't know nothing about that, child. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Y'all in here talking about North nodes and stuff. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You said on Solange's album, she acknowledged Black hair, and Master P explained how he turned $1 million to be independent because he's worth more independent. He turned down $1 million. Mm-hmm. You have fixation on deeper occult knowledge, always searching for deep meaning, right? And I realized something. The deepest meaning that you're ever gonna find is why things are hidden. That's all you're gonna find. Why it's hidden. And y'all know why it's hidden? Because they can't control people that know what they know. That's why it's hidden. They can't control people if you know what they know. That's it. So it's kind of like if you're a class of students and the teacher is teaching you, right? You always have that one student that knows more than the teacher and be correcting the teacher. Those are the people that see. Okay. And so the teacher be getting mad at them. I know, right? And then it's like another thing is like if you are trying to create an illusion and enough people believe in it, then you're able to create the type of world you want to live in, right? But if not enough people believe in whatever you're trying to push, they're going to go do something else, and therefore you won't have these people in your world to participate in your world. You know what I'm saying? And so then it's like, okay, well, if I can't if I don't have anybody to participate in my world, then you know then I can't be the master of my world. Darn. And so people have taken this on a grander scale. Well, if I don't have anybody, to vote or to pretend like they care who's in office, then I really don't have any power because they're not going to be concerned with what I'm saying anyway or listening to me. They're just going to be watching Netflix or TikTok or YouTube. They don't care what I'm doing. Let's rustle up these people. Women are very passionate. Let's, mess with women's laws. Um, people about their money. Let's mess with their money. Okay, we got to get that attention back because they're not paying us attention anymore. That's why if you had your own money, they can't get your attention, just like they can't get mine. Okay, if you only a plane, bus ticket, or a train ride away from getting what you need to get done as a woman, if you need to get it done, and you got the money to do it, you don't care what they're doing. The only people that are uncomfortable right now are those people that they need to be a part of their world. The people that are controlled, the people that feel like they can't do something anymore because people are putting fear into their mind. Ain't no fear. So I don't like that's why I say the more you know and follow the money and don't pay attention to politics. Instead of there's people literally worrying about politics, discussing, putting all this energy into all this stuff when they could have been using that time to come up with ideas to get paid, to make money, to start a business, what they can sell, learning a new craft or a hobby that they like to do, or using what they already know or their own talents or skills and getting paid for it. If you put more energy into being upset about what somebody said you can't do instead of figuring out what you can do plus getting paid, your energy is energy. It goes where you push it. Okay? If someone took all that anger, that fear, and all the stuff that people are talking about into 1 hour of sitting down and writing ideas down on how to get paid, they would be millionaires within a couple of years because that much passion, fear, anger, transmuted energy into, solutions, business ideas, da 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 da. It's going to make money. So yeah, so I mean, People are being emotionally triggered because they feel like they have no control, which is true. You don't have no control because obviously other people control that. Take your control and go get your money. You don't have to worry about it. Um, you said the government doesn't own me or my lady parts. Exactly. If you need to get something done, hop on a train, plane, car, boat, be like Dr. Seuss on them Dr. Seuss boats and go get what you need to get where you need to get it. Okay. If you too broke to do that, whoever you laid down with should have had some money. Okay. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Don't be laying down with nobody broke either. Go on. Okay. That's another thing. Don't lay down with brokenness. Get up. Don't do that. Okay. I mean, even if you practice magic or manifestation, you know better than that. Okay. What do I think about the food shortage coming? I got a whole bunch of okra growing in my backyard. I got jalapenos. I got tomatoes. I have chamomile for my tea. I have skullcap for my tea. I have basil. I got onions. What food shortage? I don't know about no food shortage. There ain't no seed shortage. Mm. DoorDash don't seem to have a food shortage, and neither does Uber Eats. Because whenever I order, it be coming. They don't ever email me back talking about we got a food shortage. Never. I always get my food. Unless they took it to the wrong house, then I'm gonna get my credit and order it again. Okay. So unless DoorDash and Uber Eats stop delivering, I don't know. I don't know about no food shortage. Unless they stop making seeds, I don't know about no food shortage. I mean, they can make Beyond and Impossible Burger and food labs now out of plants that you can grow from seeds. So I mean, put 1 + 2 together, you're always gonna have food. They're trying to usher y'all out of eating meat. I keep trying to tell y'all that. Told y'all that a long time ago. Go read Tesla's books. He says the same thing. Eventually, they're gonna push you away from eating meat. Okay. And it's not because they don't want you to eat meat. It's because of what's coming next after this. Okay. They're looking out for you, honestly. They're pushing you towards a way so that it's not an abrupt, upsetting situation to you. Okay. So why I know as technology increases, so does radiation and eating a lot of meat and having to live in a planet full of microwaves, cellular waves, radiation waves everywhere. It's not healthy. So the less dairy and meat that you eat, the better your immune system will stay. And they're not going to let up on this technology. So they're just going to let up on that meat. Okay. Even Tesla said that the future is going to be more vegetarian based and that women were going to actually be, doing stuff. So, I mean, that's what it is. That's what it's going to. Hey, I'm live. You need something? Okay. So, like a lot of stuff is just being pushed and nudged in that direction. And a lot of the fake news stories are to um, get you to accept certain things, question certain things if you're inquisitive, or accepting it, being mad about it, but then getting over it, and then just saying that's how things are is also a form of acceptance. So, but The bad thing is that if you don't know and can't see past a lot of things, you're going to live in a lot of fear and worry when you won't really have to. If you know it's coming, if you know that they're going to push you to stop eating meat, if you know that they're going to push you to be more independent and being able to, do your own thing and not have to work for a lot of people, and that technology will basically take over a lot of the man-made jobs. If you know that that's coming, you're going to see a lot of stuff that's pushing you slowly towards that, and for you to accept that. So if you know that, you're not going to be upset at every little thing that happens in politics or on the news or um, financially or whatever, as far as the economy is concerned. You're going to already be prepared. You're already going to be making moves towards what you know is coming, and help others transition to that as well. And that's it. You said stuck in your old ways. Um. So yeah. Back in the old days, before they had all these giant farms ranches and farms that had, slaughterhouses and stuff, people just, if they wanted meat, they got an animal and they raised it and they killed it themselves. Okay. Back in the old days, in the Victorian era, most people had their own garden, and their own produce was grown in their backyards. Okay. Um, Even in some countries still, they don't have these giant slaughterhouses. They have small farms, and they got their own goat, or their own little pig and cow they raise. They save up the big meat for the holidays. Oh, we gonna have a big roast. Come, whatever, like they do in the old days. They didn't have these mass productions of, slaughterhouses back in the old days. And so they have to get rid of a lot of that, because as they raise the technology, mm, the energy and the air, the waves, the frequencies, the electromagnetic frequencies that are in the air are causing cancer to a lot of these animals as well as humans. And if you're feeding cancerous animals to cancerous humans, it's just gonna not be good, right? Um, so they're eliminating a lot of this issue with a quote unquote food shortage, um, allowing you to not buy or want to focus on food so much and buying so much food and meat and stuff like that. So growing your own vegetables. Mhm. Another issue is people eat too much and too often and too much. Exactly. Y'all know America. I didn't gain weight. A lot of people have gained. I mean, if you go to America versus another country, or even if you go back in time to like an era before there was a lot of fast food and uh, wholesale meat at the Costco, a lot of people were a lot thinner because they ate a lot less. But your stomach stretches the more you eat, and so the hungrier you are. So like I'm still looking at why people think there's a food shortage when the portion size does not mean that there's no food shortage if you go by the portion size. Okay. They want, like, I hate to quote Trump, because I know a lot of y'all don't get and understand the message that Trump was really trying to convey. But his hat that said "Make America Great Again," it doesn't mean, like, people always thought, oh, it goes straight back to slavery or segregation. No, like when America was quote unquote great, they weren't the most obese country. They weren't the most greedy country. They weren't the most you know, country easy to sell out because something is cheaper. They were about pride, and they took pride in, owning stuff and creating and having their own business and all this kind of stuff. I feel like that's what he meant, and that's what it's really going back to, being able to own your own stuff, being able to not need a scooter to get around the grocery store because you're too fat to walk. Sprinkle, sprinkle, info gold. Um, I was Okay, so you know how they hire special needs people in grocery stores now? Well, there's this lady and she was getting on a scooter to go grocery shopping, and the special needs person didn't realize that she was getting a scooter because she was fat. And so he says to the lady, he said, that scooter is for people that really need it. And she said, I do really need it. And he looked around, he was kind of like scared. And so he just said, okay. And so, like, a lot of times, like, it's when you see something like that, it's like, if we keep going, and I've gained weight, and I know I'm losing it right now, though. It was fun to gain it, though. But I had to realize something while I was gaining that weight. I didn't need that food. I wanted it. Um, I wanted to enjoy it. And I realized something. And this is how I lost weight the first time. I ate what I wanted, but I sacrificed something else. Like, if I wanted dinner, like if I wanted dessert, I would just eat the dessert and not the dinner. If I wanted something sweet, I would eat that and not pair it with anything else. Like, that was what I wanted. So I ate what I wanted when I wanted. Not I didn't follow a structure or a system that people say, oh, you must have this, and this 3 meals a day. If I wasn't hungry for 3 meals a day, then I didn't eat that. And a lot of people are programmed to eat more. But you have to remember, when those things were made, people walked more. People got out of their house more. They weren't stuck online inside. People actually, like, in the 1950s, the not everyone had a car. The form of transportation was mostly public transportation. So you had to walk to the bus stop, or walk here, or walk there, or take a cab or whatnot. So a lot of people, only 15% of people had cars. Now everyone has a car, or mostly, or they can get a ride or an Uber. They don't really walk around a lot, so they're not burning as much calories. So therefore, the calorie intake should definitely be a lot less. And so you have to adjust with the times. Oh, info goes sprinkle, sprinkle. Um, so, like, if someone says, "Oh, you need 3 meals a day with this, and this, 2,000 calories." If you're sitting on your couch, on your phone, and on your computer all day, and you eating all of that, you don't burn it. So you got to get up and make an effort to go do something at least. I don't know. But at the same time, there is no food shortage. There is a greed overage. Like, sometimes you have to reverse things and look at it in the mirror. Like, there's not a food shortage. Go rewind back in the old days, and there you go to the grocery store. They didn't have these mega supermarkets or grocery stores. People weren't buying all this food. They were buying enough for 3 meals a day. It leftovers, and they would eat their leftovers. They weren't overindulging. They didn't have to have all this extra. And so we didn't think there was a food shortage way back then. But according to how greedy America has gotten, when they reduce the amount of food on the shelves, not in the back, not in the warehouse, but on the shelf, people start panicking. Okay. Like I said, when they reduce the food on the shelves and not in the back, the food's still in the back, the food's on the truck, the food's in the warehouse. They just reduce it on the shelf. It's mental. Okay. They're reducing your food on the shelves because as soon as they go in the back and bring out some more to restock, it's there. And the reason why they do that is to get you used to wanting or needing less food. hmm If you went back in time in a time machine and you went to the local grocery store, you wouldn't see all that food on the shelf. But nobody was hungry or starving, and they all ate 3 meals a day, all fine. And they didn't need no scooter to go grocery shopping because unless they, I don't think they had scooters back then. Maybe they had a wheelchair or whatnot. But they didn't need scooters to go get more food. And I'm not trying to be rude or what they say sizest, because a lot of people have mental issues that make them gain that type of weight. But at the same time, if the food and the agenda wasn't pushed, you would see less and less of those type of people. Hmm. Only the crap food seems to be in shortage. Vegan options are fully stocked. Hmm. How do you say no to doing something for someone who asks you for a favor, like a sis-in-law? Um, I can't. Sorry. I just say no. No is a full sentence, a complete sentence. Okay. I just say no because I don't feel like it. No, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna be able to do that. Yeah, go back wrong. I would just say, I'm not gonna be able to do that. Sprinkle, sprinkle. You said, thank you for all your wisdom. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Uh, I've learned a lot about being a people pleaser, fear, and not paying attention. If we pay attention, we'll see more than we usually do. If we stop fearing, we'll shift to learning mode and learn what we need to learn and fear less. And, you know, you can't please everybody, so stop trying. Do what's best for you and your family and those who are affected by whatever you're doing. That's the best you can do. Everything else, it don't matter. Okay. You say when you say no to someone, you say yes to yourself. Okay. You said vegan is usually more expensive too. That's why it's more available. Actually, the prices of vegan food are actually going down. There's no inflation on vegan food. Okay. Well, when it first came out, a lot of the vegan foods, like processed foods, were very expensive. Like the Beyond and the Impossible, and they have like the chicken now and the crumbles and all that kind of stuff. The taco crumbles, is cheaper now. Hmm. Sure, do I look good with my weight? I look good without it. You know what? I'm so sad because like I ordered some stuff, like some clothes, thinking I had gained a lot of weight, and then I get them and they're too big. But I don't think I gained as much weight as I thought. It's probably just water weight. So yeah, I'm cutting down a lot on certain foods and seeing if that works because I think a lot of times it's just water weight, which means I'm hydrated. People should think about why they eat mindlessly, some kind of void in your life. Yeah, like back in the old days, everybody sat at a dinner table and were present. The table was set. You had a fork and knife and a napkin, and you talk to people, and so that would fill that void. Now we sit in front of a TV, eat, we order stuff on the go and eat. We're not consciously aware of our food because we are mindlessly eating and watching TV or looking at our phones and not talking to other people or getting the exchange that we need to fill us. And I think in this day in society, I mean, a lot of people are now working at home. A lot of people are now able to spend more time with their family. And so I feel like it may be hard to break this habit of trying to sit at a dinner table with a group of people and eat and talk. And sometimes you got to say no phones or turn the TV off or put some ambient music on in the background. But at least that should be done a couple times a week just just to do it. Um, Sometimes the answers that you seek are in the past. You know what I'm saying? So, for example, a lot of the stuff that they did before there was all this technology, um, is why certain parts of society and life were better back then. So, take the good and the knowledge from back then, apply it to right now, and you should be fine. I mean, what worked then may work now. You used to live with by the Amish community, and they are self-sufficient. I don't know, they don't need nothing. If something go down, they don't even care. I'm like, oh well. Hmm. And that's true for like a lot of people. If you're prepared, if you're self-sufficient, if you have enough money, sometimes people think, oh, they don't care about the poor people, or they don't care because it doesn't affect them. Well, if you really think about it, the Amish, they don't care because they're self-sufficient. So a lot of times people are just using it as, a prejudice against people with money. Um, but having that money is, self-sufficient to how they need it. But if you take the money away and supply the things that makes you self-sufficient, like food, water system, making your own clothes and all that kind of stuff, it's the same thing. They have the knowledge on how to make all that stuff versus having the money to buy all of that stuff. It's the same thing. It's self-sufficiency. Okay. Oh, sprinkle, sprinkle. I see a new subscriber, Joshua. Thank you for subscribing. The Amish sell a lot of their food to local non-Amish communities. Yeah, farmers market. You like literally, if I turn my entire backyard into my garden, I could sell at a farmers market because I'm producing like a lot of stuff just from a like little small garden. So if I took my backyard and put at least four more garden beds back there, I could have, a booth at a farmer's market. And that's just a little piece of my backyard, you know. I wouldn't do that, but if I had to, I definitely could. So a lot of people pay someone to come cut their yard. They waste money on watering it when they could be waste money on watering vegetables that they can eat and save money. Like I'm getting ready to make some vegan gumbo this week, and I don't even have to buy the okra. I'm saving my money because I have my own okra. I got onions. I don't have to buy any onions. So definitely the more like, and that's just in a small little backyard garden that I started. Um, Imagine if I had four more beds of other stuff. I wouldn't have to buy any produce. And that's how they used to do it back in the old Victorian days. They didn't go to the grocery store to buy produce. They grew it in their backyard. They didn't pay nobody to come cut it because there was vegetables and flowers growing, you know. Hmm. And they had fresh flowers every day in their house, and they could send flowers to other people as gifts, or they sell it to florists or whatnot and get their money. Or they would share with the neighbors and trade it for other stuff that they couldn't afford. Like, okay, you got sugar, I got vegetables. Let's make a trade. A lot of people used to do that back in the day, and they were self-sufficient. Um, so I mean, a lot of people um, can actually be more self-sufficient or save money in some sort of way if you are worried about a food shortage. And like I know that they're pulling a lot of formula off the shelf because they want you to breastfeed because breastfeeding boosts the child's immune system. And if your child's immune system is boosted because of all this radiation and frequency and electromagnetic uh, waves running through the air, your child's going to be more equipped to be healthy in the upcoming years. So, breastfeed your child. That's what they're trying to tell you. I mean, if you really just read between the lines, okay, what are they taking off the shelves? Stuff that's weakening your immune system. They took meat off the shelf. They took breast milk. I mean, they took formula off the shelf because it lowers your immune system. Okay. It's not a food shortage. It's a transition. That's all it is. You said it's a transition. Hmm. You love rollerblading too. I thought some when the pandemic first hit. It's such a great exercise. Yeah. You said back to marriage and cuddling our babies. Um, so a lot of stuff that they're taking away is for a reason. Pay close attention. They're not taking away vegetables. They're not doing that. Go to the produce section. There's not a food shortage. Okay. I don't know if it's a worldwide thing, but I know they're not taking away nothing from that produce section. That is full and packed. Okay. What about gas? Okay. How many people are driving to work now that they don't have to commute because they work from home? The less people that drive, the less gas that's bought. The supply and demand has changed. So what do? Raise the price because not as many people are driving. Very simple. Hmm. So also more people will definitely probably switch to buying electric cars versus gas cars. And it'll push more car manufacturers to produce a model that is electric. It's a slow transition. This is how they have to do it because if they did it overnight, you'd wake up mad. Wait a minute. Why gas prices $20 a gallon? Wait a minute. Why is all the meat gone? Wait a minute. Why is there no more formula on the shelves? Like they can't do it overnight. It's a process. So they're just trying to wake you up slowly with nudging you to find different ways to do things. You say you scared of flying on how to deal with that? Don't fly. Um, just ask yourself how many car accidents have you seen versus how many plane accidents you've seen. Statistically and logically, you should be more afraid to drive than you are to fly. Okay, there you go. You see a car accident almost every day, but do you see a plane accident? There you go. You said flying is safer. Yep. If someone said, would I be safer flying to another state versus driving to another state? Statistically, flying is safer than driving because there's less planes around you in the sky to crash into you. Ain't no drunk driving planes, behind you or in front of you. Ain't nobody texting while they driving the plane. There's autopilot and stuff. You're gonna be better. How to get over anxiety. Breathe. Don't care. You know, use logic to talk yourself into, you know, knowledge helps anxiety. The more you know about something, the less you have anxiety about it. The more you know and the more you plan something, the less anxiety that you may have about it. And also, when you plan something out, don't don't make new anxiety by, you know, obsessing over the plan. Just make it a outline versus a plan. So, planning, not stressing over if the plan is done or not, but more so if it's in the direction of being done, it's fine. Anxiety is like because you feel like you don't know something or that there's some type of pressure on you. Relieve the pressure. Okay. And stop caring as much. Don't worry about it. If you can't control it, don't worry about it. Manifest the outcome you want instead of worrying about the one you think you might have. Because most of the time, anxiety is not even real. It's you worried about something that haven't even happened yet. Or it's about feeling a certain way because you're anxious about something that you don't know what it is. Replace it with something to be excited about. Plan for it, prepare for it, and work towards it. The anxiety will leave. Yeah, a lot of teas relieve anxiety. Like a lot of the tea that I grow in my garden, vervain, skullcap, relieves anxiety. Very easy. But watch out for that vervain though. It's an appetite stimulant. Like it makes you want to eat. So be careful. I was drinking that vervain tea and it stimulated my appetite. So I would say if you want the same type of effect, go for skullcap. It does the same thing without the appetite stimulant enhancer. Don't do that. Um, Also, music is pretty good. You take the blue vervain pills. Okay, those are good. Um, so make sure you're taking more of the natural remedies for any type of anxiety because all those pills they have side effects. And you don't want that. Mhm. And the tea works fast without all those side effects. You said Shira teaching y'all how to survive during wartime. That's true. I was reading a book today. It's in the other room, but there's a book about herbs. What was it about? No, it was the Dark Goddess. Yeah. Um, and in the book, it said it alluded to these times that we're in and how a lot of things have been suppressed so long that being able to feel them and talk about them and discuss them and things like that triggers a lot of people's anxiety when it's natural in order to um, thrive. Like if you have a society and they're constantly telling you something is wrong, even if it's not, and you grew up believing that, whenever you're faced with a situation that may have to do with whatever that thing is that was told, to you that was wrong, you're gonna have anxiety and guilt about it. So that a lot of times affects how you feel about yourself, your life, and other things and other people. So this is why you see all this pride stuff and gay this and lesbian that and LGBT and pronouns, them, she, her, them, all that kind of stuff. Because for so long, people were told this was bad, this was wrong, da, 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 da. And now that people are able to express themselves and be who they are, there's a lot less anxiety and or it's being dealt with. There's a lot less people with post-traumatic stress syndrome, or it's being dealt with. The children won't grow up with that crap because I've seen a lot of people with anxiety, post-traumatic stress syndrome, paranoia because they were taught that being gay, trans, lesbian was wrong. And they walked around with feeling a certain type of way. And that led to a lot of anxiety and like a lot of how you feel about yourself and the world around you. But now that all of that is being celebrated and being capitalized upon, people that probably wasn't even gay trying to be gay so they can celebrate too. I'm like, where's the straight flag? Like, they have all the different flags now. They made a straight flag. You know what I'm saying? So people want to be a part of something because it's liberating. You might not be gay, but you see that it's still liberating. And you might have something else. Like you might have guilt about something else, or anxiety about something else, or paranoia about something else, like that you feel was wrong. That wasn't. And so you have to figure out whatever that is in you. Like if you have a lot of anxiety and a lot of paranoia or whatever, maybe there's something that you felt like was wrong, or that society said was wrong, or that your belief system says is wrong, that you need to face and say, you know what, I do what I want. Just like a cat. Cats don't walk around with guilt. They don't walk around looking crazy. They did what they did, and they meant what they meant, and they said what they said. Like a dark goddess. Okay. He said gay for profit. I'm serious. Like, I know a lot of people that made t-shirts and whatnot this month with the rainbows on it got paid. Okay. Sprinkle, sprinkle, even if they wasn't gay. Okay. Why did I change my YouTube name? Well, I'm still the same on Instagram, and I took it off because some people try to impersonate my YouTube channel, and I changed it up. Like, a lot of trolls that don't like what I was doing. So I changed it up all. Um, when I was in New Orleans, we stayed on Bourbon Street, and you keep going down, it turns into, the gay bars and stuff. So they even have the gay section of Bourbon Street now. When you get into that area, you start seeing less clothes on grown men. Wait a minute. Okay. So I mean, look. The further you go to the straight part, the less clothes you see on the women. And the further you go to the gay part, the less clothes you see on the men. So that's how you know where you at. All right. You notice I changed my background because wherever I feel like I can record and get away from everybody, that's where I'm going. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm in my room right now. I'll be in one of my offices another time. I could be, if certain people aren't home watching TV in the other room, I might be in my dining room. So wherever I feel like filming is where I'm going to film, or wherever it's more convenient for me to film, I'm going to film. The backgrounds mean nothing. It means I don't want y'all to see the mess back here or the mess behind the other background. If I'm in my dining room and y'all see, my staircase, is because they're not dirty. Basically, okay? I'm not strategically setting up anything. I don't care. I pay attention to what I'm talking about. Don't pay attention to this background. This is just blocking my unmade bed. Okay. You said there's a book called Dispelling what code it talks about a lot of these things. Okay. Yeah. Um, so don't worry about the backgrounds. It don't mean nothing. Um, so that's kind of why I kind of stopped decoding, because I think it's time for people to pay more attention and read between the lines and start to see this for themselves. Like I've waited a long time for stuff to happen. So if I ever did decide to make another video, which this is the video, y'all could see it too. Okay. And it would make sense because you've actually gotten to experience it. So if you go back to some of my videos that I made a couple of years ago, you'll also see where I was trying to explain a lot of stuff then. And maybe you weren't as aware as you are now, and you weren't seeing as you see now. But with that vision, you should be able to see what's coming as well and follow the signs and follow the money and follow the technology and follow what they're trying to transition society into. And know that everything can't stay the same. You take the good things that you know are good and you push them into the next level, and you create to where more people are able to be free. That means not working all the time and having more financial freedom and more time to be with their families and da 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 da. And a lot of people get afraid because of the quote unquote financial issues or gas prices and food and stuff like that. It's pushing you to independence. And it's also pushing you to stop needing less, stop needing as much. You know, I was watching some old video and they used to actually have like rations or an amount of food you could buy during like a wartime or whatever. And people, those were food shortages, okay? Where they say you could only eat this much food a week. You could only have this much rice. You could only have this much this. You could only have this much that. You know, that's a food ration or a shortage, not you can't buy a 20 pack of chicken legs, or you can't buy a giant thing of steak for you to have 20 ounces of meat every day. You can't do that because they're first of all they're looking out for you. And a lot of what a lot of people don't know is that a lot of these farms, a lot of the people who raise animals and have ranches, those 5G towers, they don't float in the sky. They have to be put somewhere. Okay. And a lot of times, before, when 5G first came out, they were examining all these cows and livestock that was near 5G towers and finding cancer. They just cut it out. The cow has cancer, but they just cut around it and still sell you the meat. You know what I'm saying? And so if the cow's getting cancer and they're selling you that bad meat, notice they had a lot of meat recalls in the last couple of years. Had a lot of meat recalls. They're trying to tell you to stop eating meat. That didn't work. So now there's a food shortage. Next thing you know, watch, I'm trying to tell y'all. They're trying to stop y'all from eating meat because it lowers your immune system. And with all this technology, if you watch my old videos, the levels of electromagnetic frequency in the air will lower your immune system if you eat a lot of meat and dairy. So they're trying to help you out. And those that know got the message. Those that didn't, they didn't. They come up with all this new stuff, meatless products, meat, imitation meat, and all this kind of stuff. It's kind of like the vampire show True Blood. When they invented the lab version of blood so that vampires could come out and not have to, kill people and suck their blood and stuff like that. It's kind of like the same thing as like that Beyond That Impossible burger. So then we have to kill animals. Like the population of chickens should be way more than a population of people. If you really think about this, because how many chickens do people eat every day? And I don't know. They're not the way people are eating. There has to be a lot of chickens. You know what I'm saying? And there's not that many chickens in America. So where are the chickens coming from? Hmm. So who knows? Hmm. You said Roe versus Wade is more about finances than rights. Um, they have to repopulate somehow. They lost a lot of people out with the old and with the new. It's going to be a lot of interracial mixed babies now. You can't, uh, unless y'all take a little flight. A lot of the abortions were, due to slip ups, and my family won't accept this child type of situations, or my husband gonna know this ain't his situations. That's that's gonna be interesting. Um, you say you water them babies. So, we'll see what this law and how long it stays a law brings. See if it bring back the old that was, taken. It's to keep a certain race growing. Are you sure? Well, see, it's always kind of thought out like that, but never really ends up like that because, you know, sometimes people not, getting busy with their own race. And so it could actually cause the opposite effect if if so. But I also I see that the chances are still higher. You said I think it's about controlling women. They since the beginning of time, since written history, they ain't never been able to control no woman for real. They can't control a woman. People think that you can't control women. They're gonna do what they're gonna do. Think about this for a second, and y'all need to really think. So you can't. I can't. You. I'm not going to allow this woman to have an abortion, but there are Plan B pills. Okay, a lot of people don't realize Plan B pill is just a bunch of birth control. If you wait a long time and say, or don't know that you're pregnant because you was drunk or something, I don't know. I guess. And then you find out and you're like, oh, I need to. I don't want to have children at this time, so I need to go and do something. Well, like someone said, not all states it's illegal, so they can just hop on a plane, a bus, train, whatever, and go to that state and have it done. So it's not really about control. It's about the false control that they want you to think they have over you. Because there are herbs, all the foods they tell you not to eat and all the herbs they tell you not to eat while you're pregnant is because it causes miscarriage. So that's what they used to do a long time ago, make a herbal tonic, eat a bunch of stuff that causes miscarriage, and there it is. Okay, like that's the original um, you know, formula for miscarrying. A lot of witches and a lot of midwives used to tell women how to do that. I feel like it's gonna be a lot of men on child support, so don't lay down with nothing broke. Sprinkle, sprinkle. And ladies, you can use that good old excuse. Oh, that's more for my other channel. Aim high, baby. This might be your ticket to freedom. Okay. See, it might not be a bad thing. Go sleep with the richest thing you can find. All right, sprinkle, sprinkle. You never have to work again. Don't sleep with nothing broke now. I'm trying to tell you. They're trying to level y'all up, okay? They level up or level out. Lay down with some with money. You ain't gonna be mad you're pregnant when you get up. Okay? Okay. Oh my dear sugar daddy, I got pregnant. Oh, we can't keep it, but it's the law. What you want to name the baby? Let's name him Junior after you. I'm so happy I get to quit my job. Ooh. If y'all smart, y'all will make the best of this. Okay? Y'all better start taking fertility drugs too. Y'all want some babies? Y'all trying to outlaw uh, abortions? Okay, well, I'm gonna get my money. I told you I find a way to make money off of anything. Okay. You said more births mean more people working. Not if you sleep with a rich man. Mean less women working. Aim high, ladies. Don't lay down with nothing broke. You gonna give it up, get paid through the child support. Get your fertility drugs. Tell them you on birth control. Oops, I thought that was my birth control pill. That was my fertility pills. You are on birth control because you are controlling giving birth. Okay. Now get your money. They're gonna be mad when all these people showing up for court for child support. And like they're gonna overturn that law quick when all these rich men that fund them politicians got their baby mama on their back and their wife. Ooh, that law gonna get overturned quick, ladies. Ladies, if you want that law overturned, tell everybody to lay down with something rich and married, and that law will be gone within 2 years. Okay, sprinkle, sprinkle. You're welcome. Or lay down with something rich and married. Watch that law be gone. Aim for judges. Y'all know the real magic got. Aim for judges, lawyers, politicians. Okay. Capital cities are your best place to find them. Go sit at the bars near the courthouses. Eat lunch near the courthouses, lady. Preferably when you're ovulating. Be like, hey, daddy. um, anyway, bro, man, y'all better go invest in condoms. Condom, the condoms and birth control. Uh, stock market is probably going to go up and invest in them brands. or the companies that own all that birth control and stuff. Okay. So they don't control women at all because we control everything. Okay. We get married. When they overturn the child support law, then worry. Then get mad. You said Jezebel spirit on 1,000. Well, I mean, if you're going to outlaw stuff, then prepare it for the consequence. There ain't no Jezebel spirit. That's just cause and effect, baby. You say no, we say yes. We do what we got to do. It's the law of cause and effect. You outlaw abortion for women, they just gonna aim higher to get this money. Okay, we can't lay down with dusties no more, ladies. Only men with money, enough money to put on child support, and so you don't have to work anymore. Okay. Okay. Every cause has an effect. This probably is going to be the effect. You can say Jezebel spirit, but toxic patriarchy leads to Jezebel spirit. There's no other way around it. So, that's the balance. Nature has a balance. So it's going to make more women aware of what they're getting ready to sleep with. They got to raise a child with it. And you're like, you can't afford no baby. We ain't doing that. Mm-hmm. So how do you plan to step up fully and stay home? I don't know. Quit your job. Do like Beyonce said in her song, release your job. Okay, there you go. This will slow down the pick Bisha. Okay, she gonna get picked and be regretted too. So honestly, release your job. Quit. Then you're gonna stay home. Tell them you can't find a job. You need to find two or find a better job or you start a business. You said these Dusty's gonna be super salty, getting 0 cookies. Or there are gonna be a lot of marriages as well. Dusty's getting married because they don't want to be put on child support. They're gonna go on ahead and make that commitment. I think it's about time we go ahead and make that commitment. I'm getting married now. This gonna be the rain. So yes, there's gonna be a lot of marriage for the poor, a lot more child support for the rich. Be careful. Okay. Then y'all gonna have to make a flag for me. Yes. You said woke Dusty's not gonna like that. I'm sorry, woke Dusty's. Don't do nothing there. Don't do nothing. Thank you. You like my lip color? Appreciate it. This is one of my old lip colors. It's called She. No. I left it in my purse. But yeah. The gold digger flag. Exactly. That's what I said. They're gonna have come out. It's gonna be a gold flag with a shovel on it. I'm gonna come out with it too. Yeah, I better. Uh, I had a pure gold and pink flag with gold diggers since we endure so much on behalf of Dusties and haters. Solidarity for the gold diggers. Gold flag with the crystals on it that look like sugar. I mean, honestly, people are going to get creative, and a lot of people are not going to focus on the negative. They're going to focus on the positive. If you're a true alchemist, you're not going to see Roe versus Wade as a problem. You're going to not lay down with broke men and get them rich men on child support and quit your job, never work again. That's what you're going to do. If you laying down with a dusty, you going to protect yourself every time like he got something. Okay? And a dusty, if you slip up and you get a pregnant, you going to go ahead and make that commitment. So if you really think about it, Pick Misha gonna get her man to marry her. Be a lot more sugar daddies out here on child support, and less women in the workplace because they're pregnant. More time off, maternity leave, more men on child support, baby. Now, if women have learned anything in the last decade, this will be the time to use it. Okay. You say he got brokenness, a terrible disease. Okay, that's the disease right there. Okay. So, with everything that you've learned on both my channels in the last 10 years, what you do going forward, if you're a woman and you're out there doing a thing, and Roe versus Wade affects you in some sort of way, make sure it affects you positively. That's all I can tell you. Sprinkle, sprinkle. There's a lot of people that are going to be running a lot of issues. Like I got pregnant. They got three men. They're going to be getting money from three men at the same time for that pregnancy. They don't know who the daddy is, so they just I'll get them all. I'll get all the money to take care of my pregnancy costs. Okay, I have three. Think about this: a woman dating three dudes, right? And she wind up pregnant, can't get no abortion. Three dudes, she got three chicks coming in. Okay, three dudes. They don't know who the daddy is. They don't even know about each other. But one giving her money for groceries, the other one paying her bills while she on bed rest. Okay, y'all understand that if you look at it the correct way, you're gonna benefit. My doctor said I'm on bed rest. I can't work. You're gonna have to take care of me. This is your baby. There's still DNA tests yet after the baby's born, not during the pregnancy. Okay. Don't You can't take something away from somebody. They're gonna replace it with more. Just don't do it. You can't take something away from someone because they're gonna just replace it with more. I'm like, okay. I'm gonna have three potential baby daddies. They're all gonna be paying my bills at the same time, and whoever the daddy in the DNA test, that's who the last name of the baby gets, and that's who get the prize of child support. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Other ones are gonna be relieved and happy that ain't their baby. They're gonna just go on and take their loss and be out because they're not gonna get put on child support. And guess what? You never have to see them again. That's how you get rid of it. You are not the father. Okay? Oh my goodness. Maury is gonna make a comeback. And Maury show ratings going up. Okay? Whatever channel he be on, y'all invest. Prepare to see people running around backstage screaming and crying with them long nails. Y'all more about to make a comeback. See, I made y'all feel good about, right? I lifted your frequency on the whole Roe versus Wade thing. Okay, I showed y'all how to get your money. Be happy. I mean, you have more ways to get paid now without having to go into work. You said not the nails. You know they got those nails done for Maury's show, so they can do that. They're gonna run around backstage, start crying, be like this. But honestly, when this starts happening, the laws will change back. Don't worry. They're not going to give women that much power. Okay. When all them judges wind up on child support and all them lawyers wind up on child support, doctors, dentists, and their wives got to find out about it. You know, they're gonna try to put those laws back where they belong. You don't have to worry too long. You'll be fine. Okay, especially when they running around with some mixed babies, and there you go. Mhm. If you really think about it, the formula shortages and things like that. You can't go to work if you breastfeeding that baby all day, ladies. Ain't no formula on the shelf. Right? I gotta squeeze it out. I can't go to work. My boobs are leaking. The baby needs food. I can't use the pump. It irritates me. Gotta stay home. Bam. The baby gotta eat, baby. So no, I can't work. Hmm. You forgot about that one. Take the form. Y'all can have it. Take the abortion law. Y'all can have it. We gonna take everything. We gonna be 20% of that check. We ain't gonna have to work. Dusty gonna have to make that commitment. You know, it's all gonna work out. Don't worry. um, and see, this is what I'm trying to say. Like when you see the direction of how things are going, instead of focusing on the negative, oh, they took our rights away from us. They took our rights away from us. They didn't take your right away from you. You can hop on a plane and go get your rights right back. What they did is they gave you an avenue to get your money and stay home and not work and have time to start your business. Um, and aim higher. I mean, why do you think the message is being pushed to get money, not sleep with broke men? Because now that all this is in place, you have if you do accidentally get pregnant by your sugar daddy or by your boss, ladies, or your work husband, because y'all know that they, you may not have to work again. So aim high. All of a sudden, all these old, bald, fat, ugly men with money going all of a sudden feel very lucky over the next few months. They're gonna be so excited they ain't gonna be thinking about no condoms or whatnot. They ain't gonna be happy somebody paying them some type of attention for free, not asking for no money because they know what the money, where the money really is right now. Oh, don't worry, I'm not materialistic. In the back of their mind, material world is playing. I'm gonna get me some Chanel now, boo. Um, you let us know to get paid in zombie apocalypse. Yeah, I tell you. You would tell us how to get paid in a zombie apocalypse. I sure would. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Like, oh no, I don't want your money. I like you for you. Really? You don't need me to pay no bill right now? Later. after we after we make our child together. I mean later. And somebody said material world. That's gonna be playing in your mind. So men, be careful. Watch out. Wrap it up. Don't think that they, if it's too good to be true, baby, it is. You said the name Junior will be the most popular baby name in 2023. Okay. Um. So and think about this: food shortages. Y'all just gonna lose a little weight. We all need to. Some of us, I don't know. Don't worry about all that gas, how expensive gas is. Go where you need to go and get home. You don't need to be out there in them streets unless you're trying to secure you a sugar daddy and a newborn. So you don't have to work again. Use that gas money wisely, ladies. Okay. You said hot girl summer ruined, not over here. It ain't. It's just beginning. Hot mama summer. Okay. Yeah. They're gonna be, instead of selling them Viagra, they're gonna be selling uh fertility pills. Girl, you got a fertility pill? I gotta be a rich one. Ooh, I ain't gonna be ovulating for 3 more days. I need that pill. Instead of, oh, I got this young chick over there. I need a Viagra. You got a Viagra? You got a fertility pill? Sure do. Good luck. Said baby shower is about to be turned up. They're gonna be hiring party planners for the baby shower now at the estate. Um, y'all know I'm just being silly, but the whole video was about me not decoding as much anymore. But I think humor can also like help people make that transition of understanding why certain things are being done and how to not look at them in such a negative way when you can profit off of them. It's called transmutation and alchemy. Okay. Now, if your agenda is not to get pregnant by some rich man or to have a baby anytime soon, then don't sleep with nobody unprotected. Simple as that. If you accidentally get pregnant by your boyfriend, somebody you're living with, make sure they got money. Period. I mean, stop wasting your time with these broke dudes and sleeping with them if you're not prepared financially to bring a baby into this world. That's pretty much it. Mhm. And men don't sleep with women unless you're financially able to support you, them, and the child, or make that go ahead and make that commitment. Okay. So you don't have to be forced by the law to take care of them children. Go ahead, give me your last name. Be a married man. Okay, sprinkle, sprinkle. You said are we ever gonna have a woman president? No, not anytime soon. Let me tell y'all why. Because women don't even want a women president, baby. I'll repeat that. Women don't even want a woman president. Why? Because when we okay, honestly, when a woman sees a man or anyone in a position of power, first of all, if it's a man, either they're attracted to them or they're not. Um, Usually, the most popular elections are with younger or more attractive presidents. Okay, so we be looking at them. They old and ugly. We don't care as much about politics. Okay, we're more worried about the first lady and what she's wearing. Mhm. Um, Women being put and thrust into a job that has mostly always been done by a man will have all this pressure to be masculine, and nothing will change. They'll be so busy trying to be the best president and represent because they're female. They're not going to use their divine feminine energy to even be a feminine president anyway. They're going to be too rough around the edges and too masculine. So we will never have a woman president. We might have a female president, but we will never have a divine feminine type of woman as president because that's too powerful. Okay? We be we be doing like they doing on TikTok. Putin, this isn't you. Hey, daddy. Be on be on conference call looking like this, boobs all plumped up, lipstick on. Hey. What were you saying? Oh, yes, that sounds good. I'll put that on the agenda. Oh, yes, I would love to meet for lunch in the old, not the Oval Office, though. Yes, there's a nice little balcony that we can actually have, like, al fresco, maybe in the garden where Obama had that beer. If it's too windy, maybe we could have tea instead. You said enemy seduction. I'm going to be wearing my red dress. You're going to be having them 6-inch heels, tight skirt suits, pencil skirts, boobs pumped up, lipstick, hair done, nail done. Ain't nobody gonna cause no war. He's like trying to hurry. Okay, we need a peace conference. We need to have a gala. We want to get to that White House. We want to meet you. You're welcome in every country. Come meet us. We have gifts for you. We want to sign that peace treaty you was talking about. Ah, you say you want to sign the peace treaty? Mm-hmm. Come on over. I got to do it in person. That would be the first woman president. Anything else is just somebody acting like a man in a woman's body. Okay. Um, if I don't see that, I'm not just they just copying what the man did, and it's not gonna work. If you're not using your divine feminine energy to get stuff done in a different, better way, then just account. They're gonna be sending money to us, baby, because I'm gonna be cash apping them. Oh, America needs some money. Hello, we're like in a lot of debt, and I don't know how to pay it off. But you're so smart. Could you help me? Who's uh, of course, of course. Let me help you. Thank you. Girl, I got them to pay off the debt. At least some of it. Oh, the gas prices are too high. Let's call a conference. Excuse me, oil companies, your prices are too high. And if you don't lower them, there's this dude overseas who really likes me. And he said he will sell us twice as much oil and sell me the company as well. But he's really going to give it to me. He's going to sell it to me for like $1 because he wants me to be one of his wives when I'm through with office. So I told him I'd think about it. So y'all need to lower them gas prices or else. Okay. I gotta be a cadet. Um, I just went straight to the source. Um, you said get them sure. Mm-hmm. You said, yep, it will be no ass war either. Exactly. Like you would be shaming them. Like if somebody tried to pull some stunt or whatever, like get on the news and be like, I can't believe y'all. How dare you kill innocent people? That is so sad. I mean, your mother must have not raised you very well. You must really need love. Or is it little PP syndrome? You want to play with some warheads and nuclear warheads? You know they do have penis enlargement surgery now in America. But that's neither here nor there. That's neither here nor there. Um, I've been talking with Dr. Such and Such. He's a psychiatrist and he specializes in violent, toxic masculinity, um, forms of aggression. And he says acts of war and violence is usually due to such a like, girl, I'd be psychologically shaming them, side shaming them. It, nobody gonna be trying to put off no nukes or nothing. They gonna be ashamed. They gonna get talked down, talk about they got a little PP online and on the news on CNN. They be like, Madam President Shira said this uh person that did this violent act of war is a little PP. And then she pulled up a professional doctor, psychologist, psychiatrist, whatever, to confirm that this is nothing more than little PP syndrome. See, I told y'all. Notice no one that probably has a big thing ever tries to start war because they're too busy trying to get some. But watch out because the abortion laws are in effect, and you might be a daddy very soon. So be careful. Aspect sprinkle sprinkle. I'm be talking about him crazy. I'm like, don't worry, don't worry. There's help for all of us. Let's talk about it. You said no politician has ever had BD energy anyway. That's gonna be my theme song. You know how they have the president when they walk out with their theme song? Mine gonna be big, big energy. Ain't too many of them that can handle me. Okay, that would be hilarious. But like this is what I'm saying that there will until there's someone like that, there's not gonna be a woman president. There's just gonna be a woman trying to act like a man and do the job better than a man could do when she could be doing it 10 times better because she's doing it like a woman should. That's why it's going to be a while before we get that. When women are unapologetic and know what they want and believe what they want and don't allow patriarchy or any type of structure to determine, their values and things like that, that's when we'll have a woman president. But we're just going to have a clone of a man in a skirt until if there ever is a physical woman. Okay, so that's what I want to see. I want to see a real feminine, divine energy type of female, become the president. Because they don't, because it's going to be the same. It's like, oh, she fine. Oh, she look good. Oh, I'm going to vote for her just because she cute. Men will do that. Can't be no worse than the last president. That's going to be how they're going to justify. All right. Most women aren't power hungry like exactly. They're just going to be out there having a good time, whether they win or lose against whoever. When it comes to that debate, it's going to be hilarious. Because men don't win arguments with women, period. Not divine feminine women, anyways. So that's a wrap. Do you believe in some men sending you sexual energy, sexual telepathy? Is it form of draining your energy? No, shoot. If a man tries to send you a sexual energy, he wants to sleep with you. Okay, he's thinking about you, darling. You love glamorous style. Sprinkle, sprinkle. How can you drain energy when you create more, despite being? Remember, energy is never destroyed. Mm-hmm. That's true. Mm-hmm. Okay, so another thing about why decoding videos are less and less on my channel is because most of the stuff is now just so um, self-explanatory. They're not even like coding stuff anymore. They're just telling you the truth. And whether you are listening or not, whether you're reading between the lines or not, it's totally up to you. You said never lost or destroyed, only transferred. Yeah, and like if something is transferred, it's transferred right back in another way because it's a circle, it's a cycle. So you get it right back. It's like, oh, thanks. It's like, that's another thing with being more independent financially. making money while you sleep, making money, doing other things. The money you spend is coming right back to you. Did you hear about the CERN thing in July? I mean, that's old news. A lot of like they've been using that thing. They've been using it. They got skinny waist, little shoulders. What? Shira, how did you completely change your life with just a decision? Decided to stop dating broke dudes. Sprinkle, sprinkle. That was the one decision that changed my entire life. Okay. Y'all wanted the truth? That's the truth. Um, that's a life changer. Ask anyone. Hmm. Hmm. Um, you said amazing advice. It's true. And the reason that I say that that's the one decision that changed my entire life, because if you ask a woman who dates a broke guy, that's probably the decision that changed her life. So, oh, Angela, sprinkle, sprinkle. An unimposing man is just another girlfriend to you. I'm sorry. Okay. So thankful you caught this. Oh, thank you, Angela. I appreciate that. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Okay. So, you know, our decisions create the lives that we live. Hmm. So I know that's materialistic, but it is the truth. We live in a material world. And if there was no such thing as, having money or no not having money, then you could date whoever you want, don't have to worry about, anything, then that would be too easy. But we do gotta worry about that. So make a decision to either never have to worry about it or always having to worry about it. You're too busy worrying about something, you can't be creative, you can't be comfortable, you can't, uh, you know, build your dream. You can't do anything because you're too busy trying to survive. So that's just my best advice. It changes. They said, what do they say? A hungry man cannot smell the flowers or appreciate the smell of the flower. So decide what's best for you and a decision that will change your life. I saw a meme. It says, if this is not contributing to making my life better, then I'm not going to be bothered with it. And that's kind of pretty much it goes for relationships too. Um, all right, so y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and end this live video. Thank you so much for donating. And if you didn't get to donate, hit the like button. Okay, y'all know. Um, I appreciate that. And oh, they have a thing now where you could donate later. That's kind of cool. Anyway, if y'all want to see all the good decoding stuff that I used to do back in the day and like have written out word for word and how I decode stuff, y'all can join the Patreon tier 2 and up to kind of see my breakdowns and things like that for the decoding stuff. And And there's also videos on there too. We do movie night sometimes. We did spell night last week. Last Thursday, we did a financial increase abundance spell. So we're going to be doing more spell work on the channel and on the Patreon. And if y'all want to join, tier 2 and up. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Dolo, sprinkle, sprinkle. You got to figure out how Patreon. Did I say Patron? I'm thinking about alcohol. I'm thinking about a shot. That's hilarious though. But honestly, it just works. You just sign up and it's like a subscription that you pay monthly and you can cancel it at any time. And you just get access to, there's PDF books, videos, lives, whenever there's a live. You just have access to all that in one place. Posts and things like that I put on there. So yeah. I don't even have any Patron, but if I did, I was probably subconsciously thinking about doing a tequila shot. Huh? Oh, thank you. You're going to sign up this weekend. Oh, I appreciate it. And you can also message me on there as well, like in the messages. But definitely easier to get in contact with me there for sure. Dolo, sprinkle, sprinkle. Y'all sent me another one. I appreciate it. Who's that? Edward Scissorhands on there? That's what those girls with them long ratchet nails on Instagram be looking like Edward Scissorhands. Do y'all want to hear something weird? Okay, so I know this is just off topic and very weird, but y'all know how whenever y'all see a woman with them long nails, you be like, how does she wipe her butt? Or whatever. But when you see Edward Scissorhands, you never ask that question. But did he even poop? Because he did eat. Like, no one ever asked how Edward Scissorhands used the bathroom. But as soon as they see a nail longer than 3 inches, how she use a bathroom? All right. Y'all want to hear something funny? So we Googled it because we were just being silly one day, me and the kids. And they actually have a tool to wipe your butt. It's like a stick with like, and you wrap the toilet paper around it. It looked like a toilet plunger without the bristles on it. And you wrap the toilet paper around it and you go like this. I'm like, who's gonna do that for some nails? I can't do that. I'm sorry. Anyway, if you got to do all of that, was it really worth it? I don't know. You say it's for the beacons that can't reach. Oh, okay. So that's what that was invented for, not the nails. Well, at least now they have a new customer base. Okay. Might as well hire someone to wipe your booty for you. This video took a weird turn. It was all because of the profile pic. The Edward Scissorhands. Anyway. You said, so ladies, get your fertility pills. Go out when you're ovulating. Aim for politicians, judges, lawyers, men with money. If you're going to lay down, make sure you wake up and get up with that bag, baby. Okay. That sack, that amniotic sack, the heir to the throne. Okay, sprinkle, sprinkle. It's going to be a lot of rich overnight successes very soon. Just keep your eyes open, ladies. We'll see y'all later. Men are now going to be trying to vote for women to have these rights now that they know the real deal, what's about to go down. Ooh, they're going to be in my child support pockets. They're going to vote. They're going to get out and vote for you to get your rights back because they ain't trying to pay for your. They're not trying to pay for you. Okay, they gonna, the smart men will go out and try to get your rights back because it's going to cost them. That ain't going to cost you. Bye.